Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Pemko number 2002 DQ. Now I got ice cream on the mind. Threshold. This is a latching panic exit saddle with a Q-line insert. So let's take a look and see exactly what this is. The 2002 is representative of the profile of this threshold. So 2002 is going to get you a threshold that looks like this. That profile. Okay. The D is a reference to the finish. This is in a dark bronze finish. And the Q is this Q-line, this inserted weather stripping. And I like this type of weather stripping a lot because it's easily replaceable. Very easy, in fact. You just pull it out, it's going to come out. You're going to order yourself a new piece of this gasketing because eventually it will fatigue. It will. Maybe 10 years or longer, 20. But you can replace it. Okay, and that's available from Pemko separately. That part number for that short little Q-line is the Q103. And that, well, in this case, it'd be Q103, I think BL. Or D, forgive me, the color. Let's take a look and see what that's available in. Q. Yeah, it's available in black and in dark bronze. Looking at this, comparing it against my black desktop that I have here, I believe that this to be the BL, a Q103 BL. You can put any color you want. They do make white, dark brown, black. That's probably going to be it. But the point of the matter is the reach of this is a Q103, the dimensional property of it. And that is, I believe, 3/8. Let's take a look. It's not indicated on the drawing, but the Q103, if you were to search for Q103, forgive me, yeah, white. Q103W for white, Q103D for dark bronze, Q103BL for black. If you were to search for a Q103BL, you'll find the item. You'll be able to click on it. The dimension from the back side of the weather stripping to the face is 3/8. That's the magic dimension because they make these in different sizes. Now, they call this a latching panic exit saddle. Latching panic exit saddle. I was taught to call them a bump up. A latch track is a term. Panic threshold. If you hear these terms, bump up, latch track, panic, you are basically dealing with a threshold that is probably this general idea. You've got a high point that the door bumps up against. You've got a detail to the back end of it where you can have a threshold act as the bottom strike of an exit device. What I'm trying to say is this. The back side of this unit, they're using the term latching panic exit saddle. They're saying that they're inferring that the back end of this can act as the bottom strike of a surface vertical rod exit device. I'm going to say probably not, because where the door is going to reside back to here, because that Pullman latch is meant to communicate to this beveled end back here. Generally in a latch track, the height of this is smaller. So I'm going to think that you're not going to probably use this for that application. That you would want one that would be smaller, and that you probably are going to have to mount your strike on top of this threshold. But that's why they're using that terminology, because it is called out to act that way, even though I think that this would not be what I would use if I had a surface vertical rod exit device like you would have in a 100,000 square foot big box store, your big box hardware store. They've got pairs of doors on the back wall for emergency exit. Those will have pairs of surface vertical rod exit devices. but I would probably put a latch track threshold or a panic threshold on there that's known to be compatible. I don't think this one is. I think they're using the term because it's generically a similar sort of design. I would be using this in probably a residential application where I had an in-swing or an outswing door. Outswing is where you're really going to see these thresholds because when your door seals up against this, you have a really positive seal. You've got a door that's making contact with this. The only downside of that is your door is going to reside in this area. I would be putting a door sweep out here because by the time the intrusion gets to here, it's already underneath your door and on the inside face of the door, basically. So I would bring something out here, a door sweep, etc. And you could also consider putting an automatic door bottom, but it will reside over this area. That would be good as well. But this sort of threshold, in my opinion, is best as when you're doing a belt and suspenders approach, where you're going to block it here and then out here, even with a drip cap, when you have an outswing door. An in-swing door, if this was an in-swing door, which it could be, I would certainly want to put a drip cap out here, no doubt. I wouldn't want anything getting inside here and sitting. I'd put a drip cap on the door. I think Pemko's part number is 346 for their drip cap. It's about a 9/16 projection, and it's a piece of extruded aluminum that helps drive that water away from the face. That would be golden to have that as well. Now there's an image down below this video that shows us the dimensional properties. It's 3 1/8 on the width. It's going to be used in an application where you've got a real small margin at the bottom, 1/8 of an inch, 1/2 inch overall height. So if your margin is already really small at the bottom of the door, you'll be looking at a 2002. And this is going to be available in different finishes on the aluminum. And I'm going to pull those up right now because I know that it's going to be A for mill aluminum, most certainly. It's going to be, of course, and mill is just raw aluminum, what the aluminum looks like when it's extruded at the mill, which is where it gets its finish from. You can do this in the dark bronze and then a gold color as well. They also have a BSP part number here, a BSP finish. I wonder if that is... Stand by. That is indeed their black suede powder coat. So they can do this threshold now in black as well. That's new. I've not seen that item just yet. Okay. So mill aluminum, dark bronze, gold, black suede. They call it black suede powder coat. It's a powder coat. They're going to take aluminum, they're going to powder coat it. No big deal. Very durable finish powder coating is. Black suede powder coat is like the new polished brass. So it's a very common finish nowadays. So if you have an application where you've got a small undercut or you got a tight margin, you'll be looking for something like this. Great choice being a bump up. This is listed in the site in lots of different lengths. If you have need for a custom length, by all means let us know by ordering the next longest piece or pieces and indicate in the comment field what length you'd like for us to cut the material back to. The reasoning is because if you had to take this 3-foot piece and cut it down to say 30 inch, you'd probably eliminate that dimple that's there. And speaking of that dimple, screws are included in a complementary finish. And they're probably going to be a number 12 by, or a 10 by inch and a half, something in that range with this threshold. It's just a flathead wood screw with a Phillips drive, about 10 by inch and a half. You'll probably need other anchors, so be mindful that they'll get you started with screws. But if you wanted, let's say, machine screws and lead anchors, you'll have to reach out to us so that we can build in order to incorporate those specialty anchors, which I think I would never dream of putting a threshold in with plastic anchors. A lot of people do. Which is going to fail over time, in my opinion. So if you have need for a custom length, because you don't want to cut it down and then redimple a hole, order the next longest piece or pieces and simply indicate in the comment field what length you'd like for us to cut the material back to, and we'll be happy to oblige that request. Okay. Then finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Pemko products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. If you have any questions on the Pemko 2002 DQ or any other Pemko product, who's a comprehensive manufacturer of weather stripping, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.